Should a comedy show delve into politics as much as they do? Why would you want to alienate half your audience? I don't know if that's the case.
Talk about someone who's known as being an asshole.
You can't say fuck and shit and all the words that you're not supposed to say. Every time we do one of these, I'm just like so excited to do it. And that's a good thing.
You know that we also do a show together every day.
I know, but
But this feels different.
It does. I'm actually more excited about the podcast. Is that a sign of my old age?
Is that because you can swear on it?
You can't say fuck and shit and all the words that you're not supposed to say. So that part I do enjoy. And I think I've sort of laid back from that recently because of several segments we've had on the show where we've talked about that direct issue. But it is liberating, and it's fun because it's just one topic instead of many topics. Because, I mean, you're involved in our show plan. You know we do a lot of different things, from serious to funny. And this one, as a fan of, oh, by the way, this is a You Need to Listen podcast. She's Kristin, Brey. I'm Steve Scaffidi. We host Point Taken, 10 to 12, weekdays, 620 WTMJ, and all over the internet now. And you told me this, I think this morning, maybe yesterday. Anecdotally, the hot radio show.
Yeah. We had people come up to us today after the state fair.
Yeah, it is.
We had the best show.
It's exciting and fun at the same time, and I love that, and people were great, and we're going to do more of that. So this podcast is not that. This is like a one segment, 20 minutes, 25 minutes where we kind of look at things, and I'll admit, I'm older than you. Audience is like, yeah, Mr. Obvious. Thanks, Captain Obvious. You're way fucking older than she is, and not twice as old. But
no, you're a little bit younger than my parents.
Yeah. Yeah,
they're both 70.
You could be my daughter. I mean,
I am your daughter's age.
My oldest daughter is like almost your age.
Yeah,
like around 38. You're 39.
I just turned 39.
Yeah. So next June is 40. Are you ready for that?
I don't really. Yeah, I'm not like worried about it.
All right. So let me ask you this. This is sort of our theme today. We're gonna be talking about talk shows, comedy shows, and then actually comedy/political shows. And I would use Jon Stewart as the example of somebody who took comedy and made it political. Not the first one, but guy that did it as good as it could be done.
Yeah.
The Daily Show. And he used to do it all week.
And what was that? It wasn't really. Originally, it was Craig Kilborn?
Yeah,
no.
yeah. Who didn't do it as well.
Who didn't do as well. He did one season.
Yeah.
And then
it's Jon Stewart.
And then it became Jon Stewart's show, and that was late 90s.
Yeah, I believe so.
Like 98, 99.
Incredible run. A genius.
Still on.
Yeah, one day a week.
But he's executive producer.
Yeah. He gets it. I don't always agree with him, but I love the way I love his takes. They're always educated. He's smart. Oh, by the way, he's not just funny. He also does some really serious things. Did incredible work on behalf of the 9/11
firefighters.
The firefighters and first responders, and still does that work today. So, sort of living
the life.
He also did a lot of
stuff with the burn pits and everything that was happening overseas. Like
yeah.
his first, the problem with Jon Stewart that got canceled by Apple because he wanted to do an episode about China.
Yeah.
And Apple was like, no. We're good. But his first episode in that was about the burn pits. And like the lack of health care provided to veterans who suffered the consequences of being around those.
And I don't know if you know this, but one of our teammates, Brandon, was impacted by those burn pits.
I knew he was a veteran. I did not know
Iraq
that.
and Afghanistan has health problems to this day and has had surgeries because of that. That's a real thing. Yeah. It sort of gets thrown out in the myriad of things that plague veterans and people that have served overseas in some of these conditions, but it's a real thing that affects real people. All right, we're going to go a different direction. I'm talking, and I want to talk. I did a little bit of homework, so I went back and listened to, you know who Johnny Carson is?
Of course.
You didn't grow up watching him because you weren't alive yet.
Yes.
I grew up as a teenager and as a young adult watching Johnny Carson. He owned late nights. In his heyday, he had 10 million viewers, 9 to 10 million, and on his last week of his show, which I forgot the year now, he had 20 million, which is an incredible audience for late night TV. Midwest time, started at 10:30 every night, ran for an hour. Fast forward, Jay Leno took his place. There was a lot of drama and controversy about who would take his place. Jay Leno did.
Who else was in the running for that?
Joan Rivers.
Oh, really?
But she, I think, pissed off Johnny Carson. She was like the regular fill-in.
I know she was.
And then sort of, I don't know if there was a shift, something that she said, maybe something that she did, maybe behind the scenes. Carson, as funny as he was, could be a real prick. I mean, he was a chain smoking. He was married like 5 times. He was a real dandy when it comes to just being fussy about stuff and would yell at people for random reasons. But anyway, he was like the king of late night. I know Jack Parr did it before him, but that's really going back and God, your parents may not have been alive then. Who knows? Anyway, so Jay Leno takes over. What I want to talk about though is Jay Leno recently, and Johnny was interviewed by Mike Wallace, by the way, and they asked him the question. Mike Wallace, tough interview, 60 minutes. You never talk about politics. Johnny Carson said, it alienates half your audience. Jay Leno recently in an interview, who's now well out of doing a late night comedy show, still tours the country like crazy.
He is still touring. I was going to ask that.
Big time. That's the guy that loves to travel. But when you have a private jet and you can go do a show and fly back home and get in your fancy sports car, how much travel is that? You just sit there reading a paper while your pilot's doing all the work. Anyway, he's also expressed that same opinion. Why would you want to alienate half your audience? Fast forward to today. Big news we talked about on the show. Colbert, out next year. He's a guy that loves to do both. Talks politics, just do the fun stuff, the pop culture stuff. But Colbert pushed the envelope. He worked with Jon Stewart. Kimmel also loves to engage, especially with the President of the United States. They have a running battle. Seth Meyers, to a degree as well. He's pretty political. Obviously, he came out of SNL, that universe. And I'm forgetting Jimmy Fallon.
Who's the least political out of those four?
I guess my question is, if your goal is television ratings, which I think it still is, clicks is part of that story now. We know that. We work in radio when we measure both. At least we used to measure both. Now it's more clicks. Should a comedy show, late night comedy, delve into politics as much as they do? I would answer no. I think it hurts them when it comes to ratings, which is basically how you sell your show. You can still be number one, as Colbert was, and still have a million people. Not that much.
I know, but the whole point of the Colbert thing is that there's no show that gets that anymore, right?
True.
Even the most popular shows don't have nearly the market share anymore because of the fact that people get a lot of things on their phone. They're on YouTube. They're on TikTok. They're getting the diversification of options just of TV shows, let alone different types of content. And so no matter what, you're never going to have those kind of numbers ever again.
Not the Johnny Carson, not the Jay Leno numbers. But I was prepared for that question because I thought about this. Could you, if you stayed out of politics, let me use a non-late night example. There's a couple comedians, big comedians, one a little older, one a little newer. Jerry Seinfeld and Nate Bargatze, I believe, is right? They don't talk about politics at all.
Well, Jerry Seinfeld in his personal life is talking more about politics.
But not on a stage. And he does it on purpose. He doesn't engage, doesn't call out the President of the United States. Personally, I sort of know his politics. It's a strategy.
But do you find Nate Bargatze funny?
On some of the stuff, it's like the husband and wife.
Yeah,
I dig that. It's, I'm married. You're married.
He kind of does the shtick of like the '90s sitcom dad.
Yeah, exactly. I'm stupid. My wife's brilliant. Here's how she controls my life. Basically, that's the.
Yes, and I'm not saying he's not funny, but I'm saying not everyone is into Nate. I think he's very funny. I think his delivery is very good, but I don't even for me personally.
Are you bored by it?
I'm not even. It's just like it's not as smart. Like I really love smart humor, which is like for me, like my North Star is Jon Stewart. Colbert, when he did the Colbert Report, of like how quickly he was reacting to things in real time in character, is just the ability to do that. Is the talent it takes to do that is insane to me. So there's things like the good writing and stuff that's the things for certain types of humor that I mean, George Carlin's like the king of this, right?
He combined both as
he's
well.
also political.
Yeah, he did both.
And he got way more political he didn't start political.
He was also brilliant at it. Yeah, he started really goofy. He talked about marijuana all the time. That was his big thing.
So my thing
Hippy
now
Dippy Weatherman
is
was the sketch he did.
You talk about Johnny Carson being the king, but it's also because there was a lack of options.
Competition. Yeah,
yes, there's lack of competition. And so I think I totally get it. I texted you this quote last night of the famous Michael Jordan quote of when people wanted him to get more political and use the platform that he had. He goes, well, Republicans buy shoes too.
Yeah.
And was notoriously apolitical compared to a LeBron James and some of the people now. So I think, like, what is the question is, like, to be dominant in your field, do you have, in an entertainment standpoint, do you have to be non-political?
Yeah, sort of. It's bigger than that. Is America saying to late night TV hosts, comedy or comedy politics, or even comedians, we want a little less politics in our life. And at the end of the day, when we're maybe laying in bed, maybe sitting on our couch watching you, maybe we don't want to hear about Donald Trump for 10 minutes in a monologue. Maybe we just want to get to the fun stuff.
But I think there's also the benefit of the fact that because there are options, I think it's more problematic right now that if you have Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, and Jimmy Fallon. Those are the three that are on all at the same time, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
Seth Meyers is later.
Yeah.
So you have the three guys who are competing for that time slot. Jimmy Fallon's the only one who's less political.
Yeah. He touches it. He
does
dips
touch
his toe.
He's just goofy,
Yeah,
right?
he
like
is.
he's the goofiest of
He's the one that
those
shouldn't
three.
be doing it, in my opinion, but he does it anyway.
And so, like, if you have those options, let alone all of the options of the stuff you could watch, and you want to differentiate yourself for someone like Colbert who has such a political knowledge, does that not make sense? Like, this is authentically who I am and what I'm interested in and what I want to make commentary on. And if you're not into that, go watch the other guy.
Yeah, but there really isn't that much different. I mean, Fallon, even he dips his toe. He still does it.
Fallon and Colbert are very different.
Yeah, they are. Those two are extreme examples. And Kimmel, he likes to go after Trump. He doesn't do a lot of other stuff other than that when it comes to politics. He's a Trump basher is basically what
Yes.
that's his shtick, which is funny. I'm not saying it's not funny.
And it started with healthcare because he has a kid who had a heart condition.
Yeah, which is a fair assessment of what, as you and I both know, is what's happening currently in Congress.
And the funniest thing about Kimmel, though, is that he started in the Man Show.
Yeah.
I mean, his rise to fame was being a chauvinist.
Yeah, which is sort of a crazy.
Which is, I mean, and then Carolla's gone even further, like super. I don't know if he's super MAGA, but he's super
conservative,
anti woke.
He was just in Milwaukee, by the way.
Inflammatory type humor. Takes, opinions, etc.
Let me ask it this way. Is there an appetite, you think, on late night for someone right now who doesn't do that?
Yes. Oh, is there an appetite for it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And my opinion is if it was like again, this is hard to do. Chevy Chase tried to do it, and he absolutely sucked at it. So it's
Talk about someone who's known as being an asshole.
Yeah, he is. I met him once briefly. And
Supposedly, yeah.
Cold. Really cold.
I don't think anyone talks from the Community, which that show was incredible.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch it?
Yeah.
I think if they're talking about doing either a reunion movie or something like that, and Chevy Chase is not invited.
No.
Which is like, I don't know how you do that show or a movie that story without him, but whatever.
So I think America has said, even with their appetite towards award shows, they're saying we just want to be entertained. We don't need all the shit. I think that's a real missed opportunity by broadcasters, by streamers, by networks that are not broadcast. I think there's a missed opportunity.
But I think it's all right. So you think about, we do a daily show, right?
Right.
And so I feel like we don't have a super hard time coming up with topics.
Never.
But when I was doing a show by myself, it was definitely a lot more work. And I think what you would agree is like
doing a solo show is hard.
So solo show is hard when you're trying to turn something around every day to make it good every day, and you're kind of just looking at the headlines of what is there to talk about today, and what is my take on it, what is my angle on it, in the current environment of these shows that are 4 nights a week. Fast turnaround times, fast like writers' rooms that have to turn like the news of the day around into a monologue quickly, write desk pieces, write bits for the guests that are there. And when you have someone like Trump who inserts himself into everyone's life with his, we'll say, antics, like that is the low-hanging fruit for a writer's room to constantly be commenting on. Because if you're not commenting on it, then are you just ignoring it?
It's a great point. It's hard to argue that because politics, as I say on the show, it infects everything now, including late night, including comedy, including movies. And
we grew up in very different eras as far as, like, I came of age in Bush 1, right? Like, I was 14 when he got elected, and then 9/11 happened, and then we went to the Iraq War. And so, like, the amount of media and 24-hour media, like, that's been my life. And like, you grew up in a very different time when you could just turn it off more easily. And so I think there's something to be said as far as, yes, I think there is an appetite for people to have an outlet to take a break. And that's why I think reality TV and the talent shows. I think so.
I think it fills people's heads with more nonsense.
I have a friend who was very offended by that episode, by the way, because she is very smart and
likes reality TV.
Likes reality
my sister-in-law Patty said the same thing to me.
She literally sent me a DM today because I think Michelle Obama was on some podcast talking about how she likes reality TV. She goes, "If it's good enough for Michelle, tell Steve it's good enough for me."
What's your friend's name?
Megan.
Megan. Here's what I'm saying. And I think Megan actually likes me, right?
I think she listens to the show.
Okay. Well, Megan, this is for you. I'm not saying it's absolute or everybody. Culturally, the collective we, it's making us dumber. You are probably brilliant, and in every possible way. Certainly, you're listening to our show in some fashion, form or fashion, so I appreciate that.
Everyone who listens to our show is brilliant.
Yeah. They've sort of moved up the ladder. Maybe, I'm not saying you can't watch it. I would never say that. You watch what you want to watch, and clearly we have a lot of choices. I sample this stuff just because my daughters watch it and my wife Kathy watches it. And I sit there for 10 or 15 minutes. And I go, this is just embarrassing as an American and as a man. It's like, what are you doing? Why is this? They're yelling at each other. They're being these shows that are just based on nonsense. I don't get it. But again, I'm a guy that celebrates free speech. Knock yourself out and the ability to consume whatever you want. Knock yourself out. Watch it. I think it makes us collectively dumber. But that gets away from the topic.
That gets away from the topic. So,
all right. So this is my summation. I think America has spoken. Not everybody. It's not absolute, as I always say. But a lot of people are saying in their choices that they're making, by not watching as much late night TV as they used to watch. Again, apples to oranges because there was less choices then. There's the 3 networks, and now there's hundreds, 200 plus. They have other alternatives to watch. They are tuning away from things that used to be no politics zones, like award shows. They're tuning away from those things in big numbers because I would argue, and this is my summation, that people want to be entertained, not have to relive and rehash every damn political story that happened during the day parts, the morning, day, afternoon, and evening. I think that's the reality. Whether that works or not, it depends on the person who's delivering it. By the way, this is a perfect moment for a network who's got some balls to put a woman in that role who doesn't do politics and just is funny. How about that for a change?
who does that?
I don't have to think about it.
I mean,
here's an
Taylor
opportunity.
Tomlin had the show after Colbert, and she left. And I love Taylor Tomlin.
Did she do politics?
She skims the very high level of just being a younger woman
Here's the
in
challenge.
the world. But like her stuff, like a lot of her stand up is back when she got diagnosed with being bipolar, and it's about like dating stuff. It's being like a young woman. It's like mommy trauma stuff. I think her mom died when she was young. So it's a lot of personal stuff. She's very funny. And so she had a show, and I think it was doing well, but she just missed doing stand up. And so she's back touring again. And so she was good. I mean, who's doing like day shows now? It's more like
I don't
Kelly
know
Clarkson
that person's
Kelly
out there
Clarkson
yet.
Have a show?
Yeah, she's not funny.
She's pretty quick.
Her show.
But she's not a stand-up.
Her
but
show's
she's,
popular.
But she's
a hell of a singer too.
But yeah, I mean, I think having an option of someone
it's missing.
But the thing is, with the nightly show, regardless if the CBS statement, if we take them at face value,
which I don't know if I would even do that.
I told you that there's some other conservative podcast that's like deciding to take my op-ed and
yeah.
Thanks for the extra press, guys.
They're gonna dissect your op-eds.
Blue Anon, I think is what they called me. If we take them for face value and they're getting rid of the show because of finances, that means that doing that show or shows like it is very expensive, regardless of what the ratings are, right? Because if we can agree that the ratings are only ever going to get so high because of the diversification of types of content, the amount of different channels, the amount of like competition. I mean, I told you that one time. Have I told you this story of when I met with my friend who works at Netflix?
No.
So it was late 2019, early 2020. And it was still like the beginning of the streaming war. So obviously Netflix is the oldest. And now I think probably you can say is the winner of the streaming wars. But Apple was coming out with Apple TV. Everyone was starting to come up with their streaming channels. And I asked him in a meeting, I went to the offices in LA, and I was like, what is the internal chatter as far as these other competitors coming up? He's like, well, we don't talk about other streaming services as competitors. We talk about anything else you could be spending your time doing as our competitor.
Yeah.
Reading a book, going out with your friends, which is a terrifying concept in reality.
Right.
And so we just want you glued to your TV.
Which works.
Here, which is also how tech companies of social apps think about it, right? And so the fact that you have these people who are all they're thinking about is how to get you to watch. Like, we're never going to get back to a Johnny Carson. We're never going to get someone who's like that dominant in the culture, I don't think. And so
I don't know if that's the case. If the right person, man or woman, just is all entertaining, all consuming, and people, they want to see what that person at the end of the day is going to say that's funny, not political, I think there's an opportunity
So
there.
if you take out Taylor Swift and Beyonce, And this probably will show our generational difference. But we have a younger person.
Why are we taking them out?
Just because I feel like those are the two obvious answers right now. It's like the most famous people in the world.
Absolutely.
And after that, because people talk about this now, there's not like movie stars the way there used to be.
Hey, maybe it's Sydney Sweeney. Is she funny? I don't know. I mean, she's riding a rocket right now.
I'm trying to think of comedic roles.
Yes,
that
that's a penis analogy for all the fans of the podcast.
She did, I think, a fun-ish rom-com with Glenn Powell. I forgot what it was
Yeah,
called.
I don't know what it's called, but I saw a clip from it. It was funny. I think she's got a sense of humor. She's obviously talented. She seems smart. She's making money.
It's very good.
Who am I to say, as an old person, that Sydney Sweeney couldn't be the next big, talented TV star who also does movies?
Like, who's the movie stars that are under 30?
Oh, now you're testing my knowledge bank.
But
Men or women?
You could have answered that.
Oh, Timothy Chalamet is under 30.
Yeah,
isn't he?
there you go. But like 20.
And his girlfriend or partner.
Kylie Jenner.
Yeah, is she under 30? She's close.
She's also not an actress.
Also super rich. She's figured it out, right? Now, whether she's entertaining that I would watch her every night, I don't know. You know what? I thought about this. She's not under 30. And I've actually changed my position on her. Kim Kardashian. She represented the very thing I talked about before that I hated. Went to law school.
No, she just passed the bar. She didn't go to law school.
Or passed the bar. Well, she passed the bar.
She passed the bar.
Yeah,
It took her,
which
she
is
did it multiple times, but she ended up passing the bar.
Impressed by that. Studied for it.
In California bars, that and the New York bar, like the two hardest bars. So yeah,
Okay.
it's not.
All right. So I don't know if I could do that. Probably not. Maybe if I studied.
I couldn't do it.
I'll give her credit for that. Business side seems to have figured it out. Made some bad marriage choices and men decision.
Yeah.
But, everybody makes mistakes. Could she be entertaining enough in a different way? I don't know. There's a lot of.
Watch Kim Kardashian.
I might, because now I have newfound respect for her because she passed the bar.
That does not make her an entertainer.
I don't know if she could do it or not.
What other women do you think? Do you enjoy?
Are you just going to challenge me on women's names?
I'm asking because I think this is an interesting question because that is a glass ceiling that hasn't been cracked.
What's
yet,
the specific question you're asking? Other than
because there's been because it was Lily
Tomlin.
No, so it's Taylor Tomlin had a more recent late show,
which I never saw. I don't
there
even know
was
who she
a
is.
YouTuber, a famous, like a huge Lily Singh, I want to say her name was.
Never heard of her.
She was super famous, very successful YouTuber who was funny. She had the later show, but I don't think it lasted that long. But so no woman has ever done the 10:30 time slot.
Also not under 30.
So I'm wondering who you think could do that.
Not under 30. Nikki Glazer. Funny as hell.
I think Nikki, like she's probably
she
one
could
of the,
do non-comedy.
one of the top
non-politics rather.
Comics right now.
Yeah.
Comics in general, but also could
Edgy,
potentially do
super funny, good looking. I mean, that's all stuff you need for late night. I mean, I'd actually watch that if she stayed away from politics.
And she does mostly stay away from politics.
Yeah. I just gave you a great on the spots. You challenged me, and I came up with the answer.
Did you watch the roast? Did you watch the Tom Brady roast?
I've seen some of it. Yeah, she's brutal. I would not want to be roasted by her. She'd kill me. Here's the thing. We'll wrap with this. Okay. Did you see Tom Brady has a parenting newsletter? Are you freaking kidding me? He's been married twice, right?
Have you read it?
I read some of it yesterday.
Was it? What was the advice?
It's stupid.
Is it?
You won a lot of Super Bowls. You're the greatest quarterback of all time. What other than being married?
I think I've not read it. You told me this that it exists.
It's written very in a very base. It's like it's not even interesting.
Okay, because I was gonna say I think that there is something to be said as for you people who are fans of Tom Brady, who are dads, and having more community and conversation amongst alpha type dads on parenting. I think that actually is a good thing. I think while you might say that what expertise does he have on parenting? I've never heard of him being a bad parent, bad husband maybe, but
he had a baby with a woman and then she was
pregnant. But they broke up before she knew she was pregnant.
Still though, so maybe a man up and say, "I'll be with you for a while. We'll raise this kid together." No,
they did raise the kid.
He went out and got a supermom.
They co-parent.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I this is maybe a different topic for a different day. I think it is a good thing for more men to be talking about being dads.
Well, that of
and
course.
Coming
Yes. Am I going to disagree with that? No.
The best quarterback of all time, I think, is a good opportunity to be leading that conversation and be talking about being a dad, even if he doesn't have the expertise. I haven't read the. There's an opportunity there. That's what I'm saying. Whether he's delivering on the opportunity that's of substance, I don't know.
I read it, at least one of them. I need less Tom Brady in my life. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Maybe that's not a popular opinion. I don't really care. I don't.
Surprised our boy doesn't have a newsletter yet. Talking about whatever he wants to talk about because he's the smartest man in the room.
Yeah. All right. You need to listen to the podcast.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Our boy.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure that you do.
I was thinking, is there someone else you're talking
No.
about?
I realized I didn't say his name, so I want to make sure that was not lost.
Well, not Brett Favre. You're not old enough for that. Were you old? Do you remember?
Oh,
Brett?
yeah.
Yeah. Did you have a Favre jersey?
Did I have? I think I did have a Favre jersey.
Did you throw it away?
I think I outgrew it because I was a child. Like I was a child. I was in.
I feel like you were a big enough child to have
I
a
was
full-size
10
jersey.
in the '96
Weren't you like 6
Super
foot
Bowl.
when you were like a little kid?
I've been 5'10" since 7th grade.
That's good. That's tall for a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the funny story about height. When I just looked this up because I had the same doctor, my Dr. Steinman, who just retired. He's the same damn age as me. He's done as my personal physician. I was 5'11 and a half when I started with him 40 years ago. I'm under 5'10 now. How the fuck is that possible? Where does that size go?
Your bones compress.
I don't even like that. So one of my friends, she sends me a picture.
You should do Pilates.
I need to stretch. I'm going to rack it. You know those racks? I'm going to just hang for an hour. My friend sends me a picture and goes, I'm not sure you were ever 5'11", because in the picture, I was shorter than she was. Like, okay, you think I was maybe like crouching down because you were shorter? It's like, come, give me a break. But I'm not happy about being under 5'10", because that makes you small for a man. Ooh, I got a lot off my chest. This might be our best one.
It's pretty good.
A lot of energy. You were good. You were good today.
Thanks.
And you always make me smarter. I've said that. And somebody complimented me on saying that about you.
I know.
Compliments are a good thing. We need to do more of that. And instead of the excessive complaining, compliments.
All right.
Feel good about yourself. Feel good about your country. Stop cheerleading for bad news. Those are all my messages.
Good. Mantras. Affirmations.
What's your email address?
KBREY@goodkarmabrands.com.
It's not Brey. It's Brey.
It's Brey like try. Don't
So if
ask
you're
me
one of these
why.
knuckleheads that's trying to skewer my tag team partner, co-host, knock it off. You don't even know what the hell you're talking about. It's probably the only job you ever had was on your stupid podcast or whatever it is. Shut the hell up. My email, steve.scaffidi2s1d@wtmj.com. We're here every other week.
We're on air live every day, 10 to 12, WTMJ.com, or wherever you get podcasts. That's point taken. This is You Need to Listen.
Love it.
And we'll be back in 2 weeks.
See ya.